Well, this is the big one that everyone's been waiting for. It is the Stradbroke Handicap, Queensland's premier race, worth $1.5 million. And we've got a typical Stradbroke Handicap field, wide open betting race. And we'll start with the horse that's just clinging on to favouritism. It is Clearly Innocent. Hugh Bowman looking to record back-to-back Group 1 victories. And, well, he was fantastic at Eagle Farm last start. He went back, he relished the hot speed up front and then surged to the line. That performance was some 14 lengths quicker than standard over the 1400 metres on that, or 1300 metres on that track. Comes back to Doomben, drawn a little bit wide. You'd imagine he's going to get back. But what we've seen today thus far from Doomben is that when there's sufficient pressure, there's been no disadvantage to get down the middle of the track and wind up strongly. Horse number 2 is Jungle Edge. Now he's going to a dry track for the first time this campaign, and the market is clearly saying today's not the day for Jungle Edge. Getting upwards of $21 about this horse, so he was hard in the market in his most recent runs, but the key factor is going back to a dry track. Horse number 3 there is Burning Front. He's been very consistent for connections, and those who have kept backing this horse, we know what he does. He'll go forward, put himself up near the lead. Whether he's as effective at 1350 as he is at 1600 metres, that's my query with him. Horse number 4 is Counterattack, and this horse has been well supported. He's one of the favoured runners from the Chris Waller stable, draws a good gate. You've got barrier 2 for him. He was 3rd in the Kingsford Smith. He was 2nd in the Doomben 10,000. He's a stallion that would become a very, very valuable horse if he is able to record his first Group 1 win. Good Project is another runner from the Chris Waller stable, and he's first up today. We haven't seen him since he runs 2nd in the Group 1 Railway in Perth last year. He's a horse who's been very competitive in some races first up, and I'd imagine that it's been a bit of a plan from Chris Waller to get him to peak on this occasion. So I clearly wouldn't be writing him off. I've got him as one of the best roughies in this race at around $30 or $26. Hooked finished just behind Burning Front last start, and that was at 1600 metres, and I think coming back in distance is ideal for this horse, because we remember his run 2 starts ago when he was able to win at Caulfield, beating Charmed Harmony, and it was a very strong run. In Her Time, trained by Ben Smith at Newcastle. She's a lightly raced mare with a good record, 12 starts, 5 wins. Kept nice and fresh from that first up run at Doomben, where she was caught wide and was only beaten 3 lengths by Red Zell. You'd imagine going to the 1350 is a positive. And second up today, there's McIntosh. He gets the blinkers on for the first time. This is a horse that I'm pretty keen on. He's drawn an inside gate, and I like his form through the Epsom. I like his run at the Cantala Stakes, where he finished 5th behind Le Romain, beaten only a length and a half. I think he's the horse on the minimum that is perfectly weighted, and his 2 recent trials in Sydney suggest to me that he's right up to the mark. Horse number 9 is Hofgarden. Well, his 2 runs at Eagle Farm have been okay this time in. I just doubt whether he's got the class of a few of these other southern invaders that have come up to Queensland for the Winter Carnival, but he goes around for Rob Heathcote. Ullman from the Darren Weir stable beat Jungle Edge first up in the Wangoom, then he finished 3rd behind him in the BRC Sprint. You'd get the impression that he will peak now 3rd up, back from a break, getting to the 1350, no weight on his back, meets Jungle Edge about half kilos better from that event, and the market is saying that he's a leading contender in this race. Horse number 11 is Regis, another runner from the Darren Weir stable, and well, he's been a little bit frustrating for both connections and punters. He's only been disappointing in all 3 runs this campaign. He's on the quick backup. I think he's got the ability to be competitive in a race like this, just not quite sure if he's able to win from barrier 19. Horse number 12 is Kaepernick. He has a slight gear change. The near side blinker comes off and the offside blinker goes on. His racing pattern is quite notable. He'll sort of settle off the speed, and looking for a little bit of luck through the ruck, and he'll be hopefully bursting through the line late for those who are on him this afternoon, but he's at big odds. Egyptian Symbol wears the blue cap to differentiate from Clearly Innocent. Glyn Schofield riding for Bjorn Baker. She was good behind Eckstein in the Glen Logan Park last start. And if you're looking for a horse at the weights who may get in under the radar, it's this one, number 14, Gold Symphony. Wasn't far behind Clearly Innocent last start, beaten only 2.5 lengths and did carry more weight than Clearly Innocent that day. Now drops down to the minimum. There is Darren. I think this horse is better suited on wet ground, but he gets his opportunity out of Group 1 on a dry track. He's going to need a brilliant ride from Craig Williams out there in barrier 21. And there we see him pending in the Godolphin Blue. I think this is a horse who has been crying out for dry track. Just don't like the fact that he's drawn barrier 13. This son of Lonhro has a really strong turn of foot, as did his mother in Nemesis. He wasn't too far off them last time in the Arrowfield, and then again in the Kingsford Smith Cup at this last start. Did run fourth there behind Clearly Innocent. It was some 8 lengths away. My selections, I've gone for McIntosh up on top. I thought the Chris Waller trio would be hard to beat here. McIntosh and Counter-Attack, the roughie being good project, and then Clearly Innocent, the one who, if he gets things his way in terms of a bit of luck from that barrier and speed up front, you know his will be the horse coming down the middle of the track with a really, really big turn of foot.